religion, and why anyone believes in it. The concept of it providing an emotional crutch is a weak and false argument by itself. It's equivalent to giving fish to a hungry man rather than teaching that man how to fish and feed himself. By that argument itself, it shows that religion is only an excuse to fill a weakness, rather than it providing any merit for itself otherwise. I myself believed in religion for many reasons. As a young boy, I was brought up in a family using religion only as a social networking tool, rather than anything of a religious nature. I feel this is true for about 80 to 90% of all religious people out there. There are very few religious men and women who even read their own scripture and understand it. Otherwise, they're mostly indoctrinated and only have blind faith in it. My belief in Islam was strengthened by a few reasons. People around me believed it, so not believing it made me feel left out. Therefore, the default assumption that because everyone around me believes it, it must be right came into my mind. My skeptical mind still was not satisfied, and thus always researched to find some physical and empirical evidence to justify my beliefs. This made me discover preachers such as Zakir Naik and Yusuf Estes. Zakir Naik more or less specialized in sprouting false signs and dogmatic lies to entice the audience to believe in Islam. Yusuf Estes simply appealed to emotion and sprouted lies and words brought upon by lack of education or miseducation. It was almost exciting to believe in a fairy tale world for a moment, to believe that we as humans were made by a superior being perceived as God, or good, and we're heading towards a rewarding destination, for example, heaven. Also, the concept of sacrificing things in this life for the next made it easier to lose things dear to me, friends, family, and material things. I think this is one of the hardest concepts I had to defeat when I was escaping religion. The concept of an afterlife, if indoctrinated, is a difficult concept to get rid of. The fear of hell, the constant warnings, it's one of the reasons why I view religion as a virus, as it's just psychological abuse if implemented on children. Religion also brings a form of false comfort. It's a shallow one at that. The fear of death drives a person to want to live forever. That is a false comfort. To live forever is a curse worse than death. To live eternally is one of the most gruesome punishments ever to have been invented by greedy men. To continue on and on with no form of end at sight is something religion offers a false promise of. People believing it, as one believes anything without thinking about it for more than 5 seconds, is absurd. A prison which you can't taste nor smell, and all you have are false promises of escaping it or something beyond reality, is something only a fool can believe in. But a fool does not have to remain a fool forever.